One, thank you for joining me in this presentation. I'll be discussing how my personal reasons, values, and biases for entering the counseling field might influence my future work with clients, both positively and negatively. I'll also explain how these factors relate to transference, countertransference, and the ethical responsibilities of being a professional counselor. As counselors, we bring our whole selves into the work, our backgrounds, our beliefs, and our experiences. Understanding how these steps shape our interactions is key to maintaining ethical, client centered practice. My motivation for entering the field comes from a deep desire to help others find healing, purpose, and emotional stability. I've seen firsthand how powerful therapy can be in helping individuals overcome trauma and rediscover hope, empathy, and compassion. My faith in people's ability to grow are at the heart of why I chose this profession. However, these same motivations can also create challenges. Because I've experienced my own struggles in life, I may sometimes assume I understand what clients are feeling or project my own experiences onto theirs. Recognizing this tendency is important so that I can maintain boundaries and ensure that therapy remains focused on the client's unique journey, not mine. There are many positive aspects of bringing my values into counseling. My empathy allows me to build trust and create a safe, non judgmental space for clients to share openly. Clients can often sense when a counselor truly cares, and this authenticity strengthens their therapeutic alliance with me. As Corey and Callanan 2019 explained, counselors who are self aware and empathetic are better equipped to connect with clients and promote healing. My values of compassion, integrity, and respect will help me uphold these standards consistently. On the other hand, these same qualities can become liabilities if I'm not careful. Over identifying with clients who remind me of myself could lead to blurred boundaries or bias in treatment decisions. For example, if a client is struggling in an area I've worked through personally, I might unintentionally push them towards the same solutions that worked for me rather than exploring what fits them best. According to the American Counseling Association Code of Ethics 2014, counselors must avoid imposing their personal values and maintain objectivity to protect client autonomy. Regular supervision and self reflection will help me stay aligned with those ethical standards. Transference and countertransference are natural phenomena that every counselor must manage. Transference occurs when a client projects past feelings or relationships onto the counselor. For example, seeing me as a parent figure or authority figure. Countertransference happens when I project my own unresolved emotions onto the client. Suppose a client reminds me of a close friend or family member. This could trigger protective or even frustrated feelings that might cloud my judgment. Gelso and Hayes 2019 emphasized that countertransference is inevitable, but it can be managed through awareness, supervision, and personal therapy. By recognizing these emotional reactions early, I can use them as tools for insight rather than allowing them to interfere with treatment. Another important consideration is the role of assumptions and biases. My personal background, culture, and beliefs influence how I interpret human behavior. Without awareness, their assumptions could lead to misjudgments or favoritism of clients. Sue and colleagues 2019 describe cultural humility as a lifelong process of self evaluation and learning. This means acknowledging that my worldview is not universal and being open to learning from clients' unique cultural, spiritual, and personal experiences. My values can positively influence my practice by promoting respect, compassion, and hope. These values guide me to treat every client with dignity and believe in their capacity for change. They help create an environment where clients feel seen, heard, and valued. However, my values can have a negative effect as well if they conflict with the client's beliefs. For instance, if I highly value forgiveness or family unity, I must be careful not to pressure clients to adopt those same values. Ethical practice means supporting clients in defining their own goals and values, not projecting mine onto them. As Newrig 2020 explains, maintaining this distinction is essential for preserving client autonomy and professional integrity. Self awareness is at the cornerstone of ethical counseling. Understanding my motivations, values, and emotional triggers allows me to identify when I'm being influenced by personal bias. Supervision, continuing education, and personal therapy will all be critical in maintaining professional balance. ACA Code of Ethics 2014 emphasizes that ethical decision making is not a one time event. It's an ongoing process that requires reflection and humility. Regular consultation with peers and supervisors ensures that I stay accountable and keep the client's welfare at the center of all decisions. My reasons for entering the counseling field are compassion, empathy, and a desire to help. These can serve as great strengths when guided by ethical awareness. However, without reflection and boundaries, those same traits could become obstacles. By acknowledging my values and biases, managing transference and countertransference, and practicing continuing self reflection, I can provide ethical, client centered care. My ultimate goal as a counselor is to honor each client's story, promote healing, and act with integrity and respect in every interaction. Looking ahead, I'm committed to ongoing ethical and personal growth. This means participating in regular supervision, engaging in peer consultation, and seeking feedback to stay aware of blind spots. I also plan to remain current on research, multicultural best practices, and evolving ethical standards. On a personal level, I'll continue to cultivate mindfulness, humility, and compassion, qualities that allow me to be fully present with clients while maintaining professional objectivity. I believe that excellence is not just about following rules, it's about embodying the values of empathy, honesty, and respect every day. Ultimately, my hope is to become the kind of counselor who will not only support clients in their healing, but models the integrity, balance, and authenticity that makes true growth possible for both clients and the practitioner. Thank you for listening. And in conclusion, me as a counselor, I want to make sure that I am fully mentally aware and I am on doing the personal work and growth for myself in order to be the best counselor for my clients. I feel that if I'm not doing the work for myself, it will be hard for me to embody that and give those same traits to my clients authentically. So, being a counselor means continuing work on yourself because if you're not growing, then it's hard for you to teach growth to others. Have a good day and I hope you enjoyed my video.